Hey, good evening, everybody. Welcome to 20 Sides to Every Story. It's Friday night, and so we are playing Temple of Elemental Evil, the original adventures number 6 from Goodman Games. This is episode 23, I think. Yeah, thanks for coming and hanging out with us. If this is your first time stopping by the stream, welcome. Hope you enjoy your time here, and we would invite you, if you're really enjoying what you're seeing here tonight and you want to connect with us after the stream goes off air, definitely join our Discord server. Pop the link to that in the chat. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can always find the Discord link in the description of the video. So we'd love to have you. We have a pretty active group, active community. So there's people chatting about tabletop games and computer things tangential to D&D, kind of all day long. So we would love to have you come join us there. Um, Things to know about this campaign: this is an open campaign, so this is our one thing that we do on the channel, where we invite you, if you're watching and enjoying, to come and join us for a game at some point. Hey, thank you for the cheer, feeding the gem door. That's so nice of you. Appreciate that. Um, yeah, this is our game where we invite you to come and play with us. We have, I think, like 30 some players that have participated in this campaign so far. So, if you're looking for a game, again, probably the best place to come and join us for finding the signups for the game and everything would be our Discord server. We've got a whole bunch of channels that are kind of dedicated to our Temple of Elemental Evil campaign, so you can kind of get some info on character creation and get some summaries of what's been happening in the campaign, and um, read. There's role play that happens between the characters, kind of between the sessions, so you can come and check that out too. So, um, maybe because the Discord bot is talking about Extra Life, I should say something about that. We are participating in Extra Life again this year. This is our fourth year participating in Extra Life, and so it's really our efforts for Extra Life have really grown since the first year that I did my 24-hour game, and I am so thankful. I have a whole community of people that want to participate in Extra Life, so I don't feel like I have to do a 24-hour game anymore. So now it's a whole week of Extra Life that we do, and it's sort of been our tradition, I guess, to be doing that during the week of Thanksgiving. And so this year is no different. We will be starting things off on November 22nd. Will be our first Extra Life game, and then we'll be running things throughout that whole week up until November 28th. So I know Winston's running a game on the 22nd. I'll be doing double duty on the 23rd and 24th. We've got two games sort of related to this one, in that we are going to go back in time and revisit the Battle of Emerald Meadows, and kind of kind of follow up on what happened some 50 odd years ago in the Temple of Elemental Evil campaign. So we'll be doing two sessions of that. I've gotten lots of donations, so we're going to be adding all sorts of bad things into the game to mess with the players, and they're also getting some good stuff too. They managed to get to level 7. The adventure is kind of the low bar of it is level 5, but because we raised like $1,000 already, I'm going to have them start at level 7. So the donations helped them as well as will boil them a little bit probably those 2 days. So come check that out. I just put up a new thing on the schedule yesterday. Joe T and I are doing video game jukebox, and that's going to be for 12 hours on Friday, November 26th. So the conceit is we're going to have a menu of things that your donations can force us to play. So it's going to be kind of a roulette throughout the day. There'll be the menu will change, and so there'll be different things that you can select with your donations what we play next. So that should be fun. And then I think Ed has something going on the 27th. That Paul is I think going to do a Call of Cthulhu on November 28th. So Please do join us for that. All of the money that we raise goes to various children's hospitals. My games specifically will go to the Children's Hospital of Wisconsin, but we've got DMs from other states, so I think there'll be a few different organizations that we support that week. So, yeah, and if you want to check out the page right now, right there in the Discord chat, or sorry, the Twitch chat, is the link to our Extra Life portal. So, all right, I think that's all I've got for announcements at the beginning here. So we can kind of get started with our setup. So this particular session of Temple of Elemental Evil is going to pick up on the evening of the 24th of Sun Seb, Common Year 591. It is a very quiet evening at the Stumbling Ogre Inn where we pick up. Um, just to kind of summarize some of the current events as they pertain to the campaign. News coming from the Temple of Elemental Evil has been relatively quiet in the past maybe week or so. The last things that we know about what is happening there is it would seem, yes, the Earth cult has been defeated, but sort of taking advantage of that power vacuum, Lareth the Half-Drow and his thugs moved in and have claimed supremacy over the temple. If his words can be trusted in terms of what his motivation is, it seems that he's after some artifact that he believes is located there, something he referred to as the Golden Skull, and something that has been seen in visions of the past by some of the characters that witnessed events from the past. So the presumption at this point is that his search is currently underway and that he himself has taken up residence within the temple. He still has forces yet stationed at a watchtower that exists right near the temple itself, and he also has sort of a hold on the village of Null, which is very close to the temple. The remaining three elemental cults have also been scarcely seen in recent times. The previous adventuring party in episode 22, the most recent episode, um, they went to the quarters of the fire cult and they ran afoul of a couple of werewolves that seemed to be serving as sort of sentries to their living quarters. But otherwise, the place was empty. There was no sign of any members of the fire cult within. The party kind of rummaged around. They found a book which detailed denizens of the plane of elemental fire with notes on how they could be summoned. And there was one entry that should be deeply concerning to those that read it, as there was an entry about a creature or a character known as the Arco Elemental, a prince of elemental evil, a prince or overlord that dwells in the elemental plane of fire. Um, they also learned that it would seem that the elemental fire cult is under new leadership, and that they're now under the control of a man named Elazar Dryflagon, rather than its former ruler, Prefect Alrum. But these are just kind of current things with the temple. Hamlet itself, people there are kind of a little. There's a lot of anxiety. They've got their kids back that have been saved, but all the news coming back from the adventuring parties about what's going on out there in the temple, it sort of puts them at unease. They can't see what's happening there. They don't know what's happening there, but there's this kind of looming feeling that any day now something really really epically bad is going to happen, just depending on who's in control of that temple and what their goals are. Um, and there's nobody to help. There is nobody to come to the rescue of Hamlet other than those of you that are here to be adventurers, because it's no secret now that war has broken out. I don't know why there's like like crazy epic like fight music happening right now. Let's turn that off. um, but yeah, so Aya's the Wicked. Uh, a demigod, a half fiend who is very, very far away, but he's kind of this Sauron figure, and he's decided that now is the time to go to war again and bring all the nations in the world of Greyhawk kind of back on this ride of war. And so as he's drawing in the nation, the kingdom of Furiondi and the Archclericy of Luna, they're kind of rallying to send their forces up to oppose this evil entity. And those nations that are sitting on the sidelines, kind of looking at their borders and seeing that maybe I could reclaim some of that territory I lost some 10 years ago during those wars. So this is just kind of like the firecracker that's going to like kind of explode war across the world. So nobody, as terrible as things are here with the temple, it's just not in the rearview mirror of kings and empires and whatnot. So it is left in your hands. And so that is where we're at as we're picking up here tonight. And so I think before we get into the immediate, that's all just stuff that's happening out in the world. You're all sitting in this tavern and maybe enjoying some food and drink and talking wild rumors about basilisks. And so we'll go around the virtual table here and we'll have each of you introduce your character and tell us just a little bit about what do we need to know about your character, and also tell us what is your character's favorite season and why. And so I think we will start with Gabe.
Hi guys, I'm Gabe. I'm playing Thorwald Arno. He's human barbarian paladin, and he's totally covered in tribal tattoos. He's got new scarring in his face. It looks weird. Amber eyes. Something weird is going on with him. And his favorite season is winter because it reminds him of the lands where he's coming from. But of course, in winter being cold, he likes a very nice fire in the winter. So it's kind of he likes opposite. It's like it's cold, but being warm in the cold.
I totally resonate with that myself. It just I love the cold and I love having my heater just like inches away from my toes as I'm sitting on the computer or whatever. So yeah, that makes sense. Um, so next up we've got Orion.
Yeah, hi everyone. I'm Orion, and my character is Eustace Everwood. He's a human, an unwitting warlock of the Archfey, level 3. And Eustace's favorite season in prior years was always the autumn. His life as a woodsman and ranger led to good hunting in that season, but lately, as he's been coming to understand his mysterious new powers, he's gravitating toward the stillness of winter as well.
And those of you that like winter are probably a little bit for longing of it because it is we're in winter right now and the weather has not changed from it's still cool and crisp like it was in autumn, but you know, no snow. It hasn't turned that frigid cold that we would expect here in Hamlet, and so this coupled with some other unnatural phenomenon like earthquakes and such in recent times, kind of course, there's lots of wild speculation that this has something to do with what's maybe transpiring there in the temple. Um, some people are even trying to spin it though into like a positive, like, hey, we could have like a longer growing season, and like people are trying to look on the bright side of what this could mean. But surely there will be grave consequences for that. So we'll go next here to Percy.
Hi, my name is Dane Bandelhammer. I am dwarf cleric, and I also like the winter, but mostly because it makes my face cold, and it's hard to tell when I'm blushing if my face is all red.
Awesome. Next up we've got Chris Jones, who's playing Magnus the Cuthbertine. I couldn't get all of that on your little banner. It just says Magnus, but
That's right. They'll figure it out. I'm a big fan. My name's Chris Jones, and I'm playing Magnus the Cuthbertine. He is hardcore into the teachings and beatings of Saint Cuthbertine, god of protection, and maybe the god of violence with a mace specifically. Um, he's really happy to hear all the snow, and he's been stuffing his face with his hands, just eating meat and having some drink, and just being like, "Yeah, I like winter as well. You know, the lines aren't so blurred. Someone is cold, you heat them. Someone, the cold chokes out poisonous animals, and well, it's very quiet and calming in the snow, and well, nothing smells better and better in the snow than the spray of blood. Warm blood in the cold, crisp air. Am I right?" Drinks.
spoken like a true Cuthbertine. Very good. And then we have our newest visitor to Hamlet, character being played by Sarah.
Yeah, I'm Sarah, and I am playing Rhea Thornbridge, who has come to Hamlet hearing about some adventure to be had, so she's here for that. She's a human fighter, kind of a survival type character, spends a lot of time out in the woods. So I'm going to be different, or she's going to be different, and say that her favorite season is spring because there's lots of abundance out there to be had for food and lots of things to shoot.
Awesome. So that is the group here for tonight. It is the evening hours. It is dark out. Um, One of those comforting fires is ablaze in the hearth here, as you're enjoying some of the complimentary food that you are being gifted here by the proprietor, Ostler Gundigoot. And we just got Galaxian just redeemed by everyone a reroll. So thanks,
Thank you.
Galaxian, for that.
Thank you.
So I'll say this probably mostly for you, Sarah, but you've watched some of the streams, so I think you know how this kind of works. There's a big pot of rerolls. If you ever need one, you just kind of shout out, "That roll that I just made really sucked, and I really want this to succeed. I'd like to use a reroll." So might as well spend them. The audience won't buy us more if we don't use them. So um, yeah, so it's pretty scant in terms of people here in the tavern here tonight. You can definitely see Calmert, um, Rhonda. I think it's no secret. Rhonda, the waitress here at the tavern, and Calmert, the um, acolyte from the Church of St. Cuthbert. They've got kind of a will they, won't they kind of thing going on a little bit. So it's been pretty slow, and she's been kind of hanging out by that table a little bit, just kind of asking him questions, trying to get him to talk. He's a little awkward, and so he needs a little prompting to get going. But he's joined there at that table. I think she might be mostly interested in the company that he's keeping right now, because he's sitting at this table with Vex, who was like a roguish type character who was actually saved by some of you uh, uh, when you went to do battle with the Earth Cult. He was going to be sacrificed by the Earth Cult, and he like made this plea to Magnus, like, "I'll worship whatever god you you want if you just get me out of here. That's fine." So he's come back to Hamlet, and he seems like he wasn't actually just BSing you. Like he's sort of taken an interest in Saint Cuthbert. He's asking like all these like kind of crude questions about the religion. Like it's very not tactful, but it's coming from a place of he's trying. He's trying to honor his little deal that he had with Magnus. So, uh, Calmert's just sitting there with like some reed, and he's sort of weaving kind of a little makeshift symbol of Saint Cuthbert that he could wear. Um, and so that's kind of happening. Um, you also notice that Ostler Gundagut is behind the bar. He doesn't have that many patrons right now, but he's sort of he himself kind of has like some reed that he's sort of weaving into these little kind of dolls, and he's like, it's not just one doll. Like he's like made several of them, and they're kind of stacking up by the by the bar where he's like setting them, and he's just kind of like that's his activity that he's doing in between like getting people drinks and whatnot. Um, so that's probably kind of what you see. Elmo's up at the bar. You can see Sir Gerald is up at the bar, not drinking anything alcoholic, says that would be a problem for him. But yeah, that's kind of who you see as you're. I think you're all kind of putting together a little bit of a plan at your table right now, if I'm understanding things correctly.
Yeah, we've been discussing, what to do next, and it seems there is an emerging consensus that we should try to go after the basilisk that perhaps a bunch of elven hunters have been tracking down, with the idea of getting our hands on some basilisk tears that might be used to concoct something to free. We got Burn, who is being petrified, and one of the kids that we went to rescue was petrified as well.
Well, I've met these elves, and they're nice. I think we could get them to help us, or maybe at least maybe they've done some scouting on a basilisk. Maybe they tracked it down.
So why are they after the basilisk? Do they have people that are petrified?
No, I think his the leader's son was doing it as a coming of age, but he got mixed up in some fire cult issues. Real Wicker Man scenario.
Oh.
Yes, Furnock, who has been assisting us in the temple, has scouted out the home lair of this creature, but joined up with us before capturing or slaying it, whichever he was supposed to do.
I think the idea is to capture it, right? Because otherwise, it's not going to be easy to extract the tears on a continual basis.
What if we just stab it in the eye with a dagger and then collect the tears?
But I think the tears needs to be pure from blood, probably. I don't know.
Can't we like collect his head and squeeze the tears out later?
Maybe a couple of doses, but we might need more than that.
So is it true that if you look at him, you turn into stone? I mean, do they have to look at you? Can I just look at their butts instead of their faces? Like, what do I have to do?
Does anybody of you is expert on characteristic of basilisks? I honestly
I've
no
heard
idea.
that the bud is the most dangerous part to look at.
Are any of you proficient in nature?
Nope.
I think
Nope.
none of you
No.
know.
Yeah.
I mean, we can go. I mean, Elmo is right there. We can ask him. He's probably seen dozens of basilisks in his life.
Oh, we could ask the elves too. I'd also like to ask if they've got a way of transporting it once we've captured it.
Just recall how much the self-proclaimed lycanthrope hunters knew about lycanthropes. But you could ask them. They'd tell you something of whether you can buy into it is another thing.
Are you saying they're not honest?
Just maybe they they think they know more than they do.
We're probably going to need some serious materials for this if we're going to cart back this creature.
Do we know how big it is? One is like we're talking about size of a pony or larger. What is? Do we have an idea?
You've probably I mean, your best guess is probably, yeah, it could be as big as that.
Then, it's not something we can easily transport. We have to, either have a cart or, carve out some poles and do the old-fashioned jungle move.
Need some kind of cage or rope or something.
And was this boy that was looking to go and kill this thing, or was he trying to capture it too?
He was trying to find a way that he could capture it. Because the elves originally were kind of thinking that they would farm it for the tiers. But they just never really figured that out. They got as far as
Seems like-
finding where it lived. That's kind of where the plan ended.
Even before we go find these elves, which I'm sure is going to take some time, I would definitely brainstorm with at least the resident ranger in Hamlet and just get a better sense, because otherwise we're really going into the dark, I think.
Well, I'm beginning to wonder if they will even know the method for creating this this cure. They've been
elves
this. It seems that their scheme was rather half-baked.
That part they probably seemed pretty competent on because he seemed to know, like, yeah, I've got everything that I need. It's just this one ingredient that is sort of tricky to find a basilisk, and then also then you got to get its tears. And so coming from where they hail from in Celine, that part probably doesn't seem too far fetched.
So, Thorwald, you want to go talk to Elmo then?
Yeah, here. Let's speak with him. Let's get a better sense tonight, and if we're still persuaded that's the right course of action, then tomorrow morning we can set out.
Should we see if he
Agreed.
wants to come with us?
That would be a plus, but let's see what he wants to do. I'm not sure with his new responsibilities if he can take out as much as he wants.
All right.
Well, are any of you guys skilled at tracking?
No.
Then we might need Elmo.
Well, if we just get to the elves, then maybe they'll just explain to us where the lair is.
So I have survival. I don't know if that would fall under like tracking stuff.
Yes.
Yes.
So then I have some.
Okay, good.
Alex, we approached the lair when the last time a party you went there. Is that okay? So Eustace was there and hopefully could get us back there.
Yeah. I mean, it'll take you probably a little bit of work to like re-navigate there, but definitely like not a super difficult challenge.
Okay,
All
let's see what Elmo says. Elmo.
So, Thorwald, you're kind of going up to the bar there. As you kind of cross the tap room, walking past the fireplace and getting up to the bar, you see Abe Gundagoot. He's like kind of about 8 years old, um, and he's all painted up, like he's got like kind of like some kind of like white paint on his face and sort of it almost looks like kind of like shadow under his eyes, almost like he's like, and he's kind of like going Rawr, and he's like making little noises, almost like he's trying to like mime that he's like a zombie.
Togo will stop by, look at him, and say, "Oh my God, what's going on here?"
I'm a zombie. I'm just kidding, Thorwald.
Are you okay, Abe? I
It's
haven't
me.
spoken
It's
with you.
Abe.
I know, but just
Oh,
making sure you're okay.
I'm okay. Yeah. Um, do you want to buy an iron ring for Dead Feast?
Um, Absolutely. I'm a little bit light on cash now.
I got you, Thorwald.
Oh,
How much, boy?
one. And he like he knows that you can't hear, so he holds up one, but he says copper piece.
All right, I'll give him a copper.
And he hands you this iron ring.
Oh, to Thorwald.
Thank
And he
you, thank
hands
you,
it to
Abe.
Thorwald. He sees Rhea. He says, "Hey, miss, would you like to buy an iron ring for Dead Feast?"
I have no gold right now. I owe some.
Oh, it's only a copper. How many do you
Don't think
got,
I have
boy?
like anything.
And
You have
he
four
kind of
more?
he reaches into his pockets. He's got like fistfuls of them.
I'll take four more.
Oh, and he's excited. Like this is huge for him. So he like counts out four, um, and takes some coin. He says, "Good, good. This will protect you."
We're
Excellent.
gonna need it.
And
What's
he's
this
just
protecting from?
from from dead things like me. Rah!
Ah! And Date'll walk back a couple of feet.
He kind of scurries over, and you can see him harassing Calmert then to buy some rings. Um, so then you kind of move ahead, and you can see Elmo likes to drink. So like this is kind of a big Sir Gerald and Elmo couldn't be any more opposite. Sir Gerald stone cold sober, and Elmo just has like all these pints like just piling up around him, and he sees you and says, "Hey, Dane, Thorwald. Let's have a drink. Hey, Gundagoot, get a couple of drinks for my friends here. Are you heading back out to the temple? What's the next move?"
Well, we're trying to. Do you remember that idea about getting the basilisk tears to depetrify, burn, and perhaps the girl that got petrified? Do you think that's a good idea?
Basilisks? Well, seems
Yeah,
like you go find a basilisk, then we're just gonna have more petrified people.
yeah. There's that.
Ooh.
Let's hope not. I'll just take a milk.
Gundugoot gets that, brings you the milk, and then he goes back to making his dolls.
A
Uh,
kind of goat. What are the dolls for?
Gundagoot says, well, these dolls are for Dead Feast. I can make you one if you like."
Sure.
On the night of Dead Feast, he hands you one. He hands one to you, Dean, and he says, "On the night of Dead Feast, be sure to burn this. It is, it's an old faith tradition, but if you do this, uh, the druids say that your place in the army of the dead will be taken by this, and he will not look for you when you die."
I'm not real worried about that. I'm sure Marden will protect me when I die.
Well, I'm
good to
sure
have
that
more
even
allies.
Moradin has his own protections that he gives you. That's good, but um, we are not so um, wealthy, and God's caring about us little folk here in Hamlet, so this is the best we got.
Uh, I certainly hope the gods care about everyone.
That is a nice thought.
So Elmo, have you ever hunted or tracked a basilisk before?
Ooh, mm, no. Um, can't say that I have. They're not all that frequent of a occurrence, and I never really had much reason to go seeking out such danger. I thought y'all were a little touched when you went out there to deal with the owl bear, and this is like on a whole different level going to deal with the basilisk.
Elmo, what do you think of those elves that are hunting the basilisk?
Oh, I like them, Tomris. We he used to come around here a little bit more, and I hear that you've all kind of made acquaintance with him. I'm hoping he'll come around again. We used to drink quite a bit when I was out there in the woods. Um, when I was out there looking for my brother, he was a big help in locating him and finding out that he was with that Lareth. I think they're reasonable folk. I trust them.
So do we have your approval to go there and see if we can perhaps make this happen?
Oh, you don't need my approval. That's on you. I, I, I mean, obviously, I'm feeling a little embarrassed that have a little bit of fear and anxiety about such things. But well, you all, maybe it's a sacrifice worth making. I mean, I can't make heads or tails of all these things that are happening out there at the temple, and having Burn around to kind of help clarify a thing or two might be useful.
Maybe. Do you know anybody in town that's got a cart big enough for this basilisk to carry?
Well, ain't that matchmaker fellow of yours? Don't he have a cart?
It's been complaining that card is being lost in Knob, I think.
Oh, I
Yeah.
see. Well, I'm sure I could talk to Nix about lending you one of her wagons.
That'd be awesome if you could do that.
Sure, no problem. Just right after this one, I'll head over there and see if she's still awake and talk to her.
I'll come with you, Elmo. Just making sure you get there.
Oh, you don't
No,
have to
I'm
worry
just
about
joking.
me.
I'm just
Uh,
joking. It's a joke.
oh,
It's a joke.
okay. You see, he stands up just to prove, look, I'm fine, and he's like kind of buckling at the knees a little bit. He has to grab the bar to like steady himself. I'm fine, and Gundigoot kind of goes and grabs the the mug and pulls it away from him. Okay, I'll go right now then. He starts to kind of stumble towards the door.
Okay, I'll follow him just
Okay,
without bothering too much.
sounds good. How about the rest of you? So Thorwald's going and accompanying Elmo to maybe go and get permission to use one of the Wagoneer's wagons.
Eustace might look for Spugnor if he's around, and kind of follow up with some of the same questions. Just that definitely hasn't been hunting them, but not sure if he's come across basilisks in any of his studies or reading.
Sure. You probably know from back here in the back common room, um, sort of in wisps of pipe smoke coming from that room, and you saw Spugnor retiring there at some point. And so as you head over in that direction, you'll find Spugnor kind of sitting with his like legs kind of tucked underneath him, like on this like sofa with a book, and he's just smoking his pipe, and he's got maybe a little bowl of like nuts and berries next to him, and he's just kind of eating and like paging through this book. He doesn't even really notice you as you walk in, and he's kind of mumbling to himself.
Man, I don't want to interrupt him. That sounds like a great time. But no, Eustace will approach, and if he still doesn't notice, kind of clear his throat, and then we'll actually start the conversation back at the last time he'd been in the temple and had recovered just like armfuls of ratty old scrolls and books there. We kind of ask if he found anything interesting or dangerous.
Whoa.
And then start working that around toward toward the basilisk angle, and maybe recover a way to recover burn might be, I guess, the angle to work with him.
He kind of stammers a bit. Well, I found all sorts of things in these scrolls. Some that are interesting, some that are not. But it would seem that the fire cult wasn't alone in trying to figure out a way to bring one of these arco elementals into the world. The earth cult. I'm seeing the same name over and over again. Ogrimmok, Ogrimmok, Ogrimmok. The mountain that moves. The mountain that walks. Maybe every elemental plane has one of these princes.
And these earth cult writings would presumably be seeking to invite that prince here.
Yeah, it seems so. A lot of it talks about things called elemental nodes. I don't know what those are exactly, but it seems that they're something that might be down there in the temple. Something that they're trying to use to harness elemental energy in a major way to allow for spell casting or summons that would not ordinarily be possible.
Tell me, Spugnor, have you found any mention of a golden skull?
No, I've been looking for that because that's the thing that Lareth is looking for.
Right.
Golden skull. No. Nothing.
Well, perhaps they kept any records of their pets and their monsters. The Earth Cult was rumored to raise basilisks. We never found any, to my knowledge, in the temple, but we may be able to hunt one down now. Do you have any knowledge of those
Oh,
creatures?
well, knowledge about them. Well, I don't know. I'll let Spugnor make a check, I guess, to see if he knows anything about
Yeah, sorry I
such
talked
things.
so long for that, but
As it turns out, Spugnor apparently knows a thing or two about
the guy to talk to.
basilisks. He's like, oh, basilisks! Yes, I did. The only paper, the only passing paper I had back in wizarding school was all about basilisks. What would you want to know?
How big are they? Are they usually alone or in groups? What are
Okay,
the dangers?
sure. So, basilisks usually are mated pairs. And that's how they typically dwell. Yeah, they can get up to like 5, 6, maybe even 7 feet long from from their snout to their tail.
Okay, snout and tail.
They
What do they
usually
look
will.
like?
Oh, they're kind of almost like crocodile-looking things. Multiple legs, 6 in total. Um, don't look at it though. I think you know that, yeah.
Well,
You don't want to catch its gaze, and that's how you'll turn to stone. You end up like Burn.
right.
Uh,
But
the
Eustace would invite him out to see if, if Thorwald or anyone else still in the tavern has any other questions. But that
people want
was
to talk to
very
me.
valuable.
People want to know
They've
what
been
I have
asking
to
for
say.
asking after you all night.
He looks like super excited that somebody wants to like talk to him and tap into he's like on the trivia team and he's got like this one thing that he knows and like he's like, "Oh, today's the day." I get to unleash all my basilisk knowledge. So he comes out and he's like, "Hey, so you're looking to hunt a basilisk, huh?"
Yeah. Do you know if it's us looking at him or him looking at us?
Well, I suppose it's a little bit of both.
So if I blinded him, would that stop him from petrifying people?
Hmm. He's thinking for a second. That's a good theory. For sure, it has something to do with you gazing into its gaze. I don't know how it would impact it if he can't see.
And if you didn't look at him in the eye, like you looked at his tail or something.
As long as you don't look at his gaze, you'd be fine.
Okay. Well, that's good to know.
You're looking to catch the.
Yeah, I would like to bring him back.
You want to bring him back, huh?
Apparently, the elves have a way of harvesting his tears.
Well, that would be
Wow.
quite a valuable operation if you're able to do that. They're very rare. It's hard to capture a living basilisk.
And they live alone?
Oh no, they usually they'll live with their mate and they'll sire a clutch of eggs between 4 to 6 and
Oh,
raise
maybe we
them.
could go for the eggs. Where's Teasley when you need him?
Can we steal an egg? Raise a basilisk?
He stole a griffin egg, and I think Smugnor's still raising that.
Yep. He's. I got him out in the stables right now. I'm feeding him 3 times a day, giving him regular walks. We're really taken to each other. He stopped pecking me incessantly, and I think all of my wounds have kind of scabbed over. We're doing better on that front.
Oh,
The
that's
doctor's
good.
been kind of helping me out with that, giving me some salve, and
Can the griffin pull a cart?
he probably could. I don't know um, if he will obey. We're still working out the whole authority thing. Who's the boss?
Oh. You gotta let him know who's boss early.
Well, maybe that time has passed. I mean, I was in a coma for most of it.
That's true. That's Fireball.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've had a hell of a couple of months.
Well, you seem to be the authority on these basilisks. Did you want to come with us?
You want me to come with you?
Well, as long as you're not going to look right at it.
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't think of it. I know better. Yeah, I'd love to come with you.
All right. Do they have any immunities? Are they resistant to anything? I know you like to use fire. Are they resistant to fire?
No, they're not resistant to fire. Um, I don't know of any kind of resistances or vulnerabilities necessarily. They're nocturnal. That helps you at all. They like to go out and hunt at night.
Would it be better to attack it during the day then?
You
A
might be
little
able to get the
lethargic?
jump on it if you sneak up on
Catch
it
it while
during
it
the day.
rests.
I'm not very sneaky. I don't know if I could do that.
Cheesemonger is in the chat. Cheesemonger stopped by last night when we were playing uh what's the game called? It's not Left 4 Dead. Back for Blood. And he's asking what's the griffin's name? I don't know that we ever named the griffin. Um so there is an item in the EXP store that you can name an NPC. So if someone wants to name this griffin, you could redeem that and we will make it canon. So I guess its name is
Good match.
TBD. Yeah, so he tells you, knowing that it's a nocturnal thing, if you go in there during the day, maybe you could sneak up on it or get some kind of a advantage.
But there's probably going to be more than one.
I would suspect there's 2.
Unless they've got kids, and then there might be a bunch. How many kids do they have?
Eh, I'd say no more than half a dozen, so about 6 tops.
Ugh. Now we're talking about 8 basilisks.
That's a lot of basilisks. That's a lot of gazes to avoid.
We could blindfold ourselves.
I think as long as you don't look it in the eye, you're good.
Is there anything special we need to cart one back if we're going to? Any chains or rope special?
Oh, maybe some kind of a box that is sort of enclosed, so you can't look out at anybody.
Well, could we wrap a towel around its head or a blanket and
I
blindfold it?
suppose. Well, just a piece of cloth between you and its gaze, then.
All right.
I'd get, like a big, crate filled with straw, so it's kind of comfy in there, Start off on a good relationship with this basilisk if you're gonna bring him back, and I mean, you're probably gonna thwonk him on the head. That's kind of a couple of knocks on the negative side. Maybe give him a little comfy bed, give him some food, maybe a little chew toy.
This sounded like a bad idea.
Oh, this is a very good idea. I'm really excited about this idea.
All righty.
And what if we just batter its eyes in so that it can't open them to see us?
Batter them,
I don't
like
think we could
cheese
damage
batter.
its eyes if they were trying to get the tears out of it.
Well, I mean, I feel like if you get them swollen enough, there'll be tears dripping out. You ever been punched in the eye before? Get a little teary. Well, I'm sorry, I wouldn't. All you have is a mace. The solution is always bludgeoning. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I think the plan is to knock it out, tie it up, blindfold it, and go
You can
from
knock it
there.
out with your mace.
Yeah. Does everybody have a weapon that can knock it out?
Well, I mean, I think we're all here. I think we all have some martial ability, and I mean, I have this beauty. Just pull out this cudgel, and it just shines and sparkles beautifully.
Got a short sword. You can knock it on the head with that.
Yeah. As long as we're not trying to kill it. Although if there's 2, we might want to kill one of them. No?
It'd be easier to see if we could steal a baby.
Hey, you know that really cool sleep spell I've got? Maybe if you knock it in the head enough times, I can use that.
That's true.
All right, well, I'm
Well,
ready to go.
I guess we go to sleep, wake up in the morning.
You want me to cast
Oh.
sleep? Okay, here we go. No, he doesn't do that.
Eustace doesn't hate the idea of a crate. Would that be something that we could arrange overnight, or would that delay things?
No, same thing. You can probably get that from the Wagoneer. Would have some empty old crates that she's not using. So she'll hook you up with something. She's on the council, so she probably is like, if this is all they're asking for, like, sure, like we could spare a wagon and a crate. That's good.
So
All right.
practical. Great.
Are there other things that you're wanting to procure, preparation things you want to do here yet tonight?
We'll probably need Odie, but we could just take that, right? I'm sure Humboldt won't mind.
So
And
it gets petrified, then Humboldt might mind.
Well, we'll
It's-
try not to let that happen.
As long as we get the basilisk, we can fix it.
All right. Well, so you all take a rest then, and in the morning, grab some breakfast on your way out the door. And then the plan is to head to the basilisk cave.
Yep.
Do we want to see the elves first, or do we
Yeah,
want to?
Maybe we should, try. Make sure that we arrange some terms for our delivery of the beast.
Yeah, are they paying us for this, or
If we just do that part under an hour, we'll be good.
I think. I mean, they're not really paying you to do it. If you want to negotiate something with them in terms of like, if we get this and it's alive, would you buy it? Like, you could go and negotiate that.
is anybody in the group a good talker?
No.
That is not in my skill set.
A warlock, maybe.
Yeah, Eustace can be pretty persuasive.
but we have to understand what's our priority, right? Because that could be a good it could be a good profit, right? But our main goal is to get 2 doses of
We need
that.
2 doses. Yeah.
So more than like charging them to sell the basilisk, I think our priority would be to have a little supply guaranteed at no price when we need it, and
Yeah.
leave them merchandise however they find. And the other thing we can do is if we find eggs that it's not cracked open, we can bring one back and see and test our theory that we can grow out one long term wise.
Yeah, I think because we only need 2 now, but we might need more later. So I think we're gonna hook you up with this basilisk, and like we need a supply when we need it. It's probably good enough.
So if the elves are going after the basilisk because it's a rite of passage, are they going to be upset with us if we go after it without telling them?
Nah, we saved their kid's life. We'll be fine.
There you go. All right, then we can just go.
I mean,
Basilisk.
I would stop at them no matter what, because first let them know, right, if they agree with the idea, and two,
And
just to make
maybe
sure what's
not
going on.
asking for just 2 doses, but as many doses as we need. Because if one of us does get petrified, we may need more than just 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Ideally, none of us get petrified. Right, Spugnar?
Well, I really hope not. I mean, I told you how not to get petrified, so don't look at it.
Don't look it in the eye. Got it.
Don't look at it in the eye.
Before we leave, I'll do a quick run at the store and grab one of those mirrors, and I'll fit it not very well, but I'll fit it inside my shield. So the worst case scenario, I can use my shield just not to
Good
look
idea.
directly at it.
Are you sure it works that way?
Worst case scenario.
So they've got like a hand mirror that you could buy for 5 gold.
You're still looking in the eye, though. You just don't look in the eye.
Looking in the eye, I'm looking through the window.
But if you
To
look
the
through
glass.
the mirror into its eyes, then you're still looking in the eye.
So you guys think it's okay just to say, I'm not looking in the eye and just
You're
No,
hitting
you
Might
it
just
be
not
able to
gonna
look at it.
You're hitting it in its ass.
I'm just going to run towards it till I see its feet, and then I'm gonna close my eyes and swing.
That's an idea too.
and cheaper idea. I don't have 5 gold pieces, so
Oh, well, if that's the question, I'll just give you 5 gold pieces.
No, I mean, if you guys think that the idea of the mirror is a good one, if not, well, then by all means, let's say 5 gold pieces, and let's go with whatever plan you come up with.
I'm willing to put 5 gold on seeing if it works.
Yeah, I mean, that's more of like a gamble, if anything, but that's not my character. But my character will give you 5 gold if you need it.
It's a tough lesson to learn if it goes the wrong way.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Hey,
thinking.
we're gonna get those doses right. Unless we all turn to stone and this doesn't work out.
So you guys are okay getting one extra hand mirror just in case and try it out?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
I'll
Then we'll
remove
know
the
for the
gold.
future if we ever have to fight another basilisk.
Hopefully not.
Well, from what I understand, there's one in the Earth cults area, so I don't know, maybe we'll run into it someday.
Do you know where in there it is?
No. They're just rumors that it's there.
Okay, so hand mirror, and then we stop by the elves.
If we can find them, they have kind of a campsite.
Yeah. They've got a little camp that you can head to. Oh, come on. Give me 1 second. I swear sometimes, Foundry, you just forget where the file paths are to my cool images. Makes me mad. Elven camp, there we go.
And we got these cool rings too. They'll protect us.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how, but
Dead things.
it was 1 copper. It wasn't expensive.
I'm just gonna hold it out and hope it does something.
Well, I'm sorry. Are any of you able to see an image?
It said no token with vision on this map.
All right. Oh,
That was
show you
a
this.
permissions thing
How about
last
that?
time. Yeah.
Not exactly what I wanted to do, but
now we
this
can.
work. Yeah, this is just an image, so I don't have tokens or anything. But this is what the Elven camp looks like. It's just a number of like hooded or covered wagons that are all surrounded in a little fire. There's a tent there. They're just all. It probably takes you like a day or so to get to the Elven camp. They're all parked out on the edge of the gnarly forest. And so we'll say it's like kind of evening time as you're coming into their camp, and you can smell the familiar smells of some kind of a stew cooking, and the firewood burning. And there's just a number of elves. They're sitting around the fire cross-legged with their pipes, smoking. And you can see Tomarus, who's the leader of the elves. He's standing. There's like a big crock, like a cast iron crock that's over the fire, and he's got a big wooden stick that he's kind of stirring whatever this stew kind of thing is, this gumbo, and he's kind of ladling some of it up into bowls and passing it around to the crew. And hey, thanks, Roadkiller. Thanks for the DM reroll. Appreciate that. I will use it in good health. Um, so yeah, like your Magnus. You see, there's like the one elf that was like silvering his weapons the last time you were here. He's kind of missing like some of his teeth. He's kind of a rough looking elf. He's got a bunch of scarring. Like he's a monster hunter. And he sees you and he kind of waves. He recognizes you. Tomarus sees a bunch of you coming around. And he's like, "Oh, good to see you folk. Come on in. Come on in. Are you hungry? We're just about to have some dinner. And I made extra. I always do, just in case for times like this. You never know when friends might pop in."
What are you eating?
I've got trying out a little bit of a new recipe. I've got kind of a gumbo here. We've got some. We killed a bear today, so I got kind of a bear stew kind of thing going. We got some some carrots and some potatoes, some root vegetables that we got from out there in the wood. Oh, it's gonna be good. Hey, thanks for the follow, Darian Destro. Thanks for stopping by. Are you hungry, Dane? Would you like some?
Oh, absolutely.
Awesome. Thank
I
you.
don't think I've ever tried bear.
Oh, it's real good. It's
This
real
will be
good.
a treat.
Yes. He ladles that up and he's like, "So, you folk, you here to do some wheeling, some dealing? I got some new wares and such that you might be interested in. Um, got a couple of potions. You said you were going to go and deal with these fire elemental folk, and so I made sure I hate those guys just as much as you do, especially after what they tried to do to my son, who I haven't seen. He doesn't call. I don't know where he's at. I don't know if you know if he's like hanging out there in Hamlet. That's fine. Tell him his dad's looking for him.
He's not
Shh.
around in Omelet.
He is.
I've seen him around.
Tell him his mom's asking. She's writing to me. She's real worried. I keep deflecting. I'm writing back to her saying, he's trying to find this basilisk. We're going to go on the basilisk hunt together. And then he just disappeared. Anyway, yeah, so I've got some stuff. I got some fire resistance potions. So I heard there's some bad stuff that happened with a few of your folk with some fireballs and such. So we got you well stocked there. We could sell you a few of those. What do you need? What are you looking for? What can I hook you up with?
Healing potions?
Healing potions? Absolutely. Get you a healing potion for 50 gold.
Can I have 2?
Sure, absolutely. And he kind of calls to one of the other elves to go and, get the supply wagon and get these things for you, and you do your transaction.
Tomeris, to be honest with you, and I don't want to be insensitive here, but uh, I think we're come here to capture the basilisk. I know your boy. I had right of first choice, but kind of we thought that we would give it a try. I don't know if you know, but Burn has been petrified,
Oh,
and
I
and
know. Yeah, that's why we wanted to get this basilisk, because Burns loaded. Like, he's got a lot of money.
I mean, the main concern is not that it's loaded, but that it can have information that we need. And a girl was petrified last time we went into the Earth Temple. So, we're trying to do the right thing here.
I mean, you could do the right thing and make a lot of money.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Anyway, we thought.
Regardless.
Yeah. Regardless, go on with this. Sorry.
Oh no, sorry. We're agreed that recovering the basilisk will have to take priority over the hunting trip with young Fernok, who is probably been riding frequently, and you just can't trust the roads to the bandits these days.
That's nice of you to say, but I know my son, and I know he's probably partying it up there in Hamlet. Look, I do the same thing. Me and Elmo, we talk, we hang out. I know how it is. It's a lot of fun. I know what's going on. He's just yucking it up there with Elmo. That's fine. Look, absolutely. We need to. I agree with you. We need to get. Byrne needs to be back. We need to have him back. It's terrible what happened to this young child that got petrified. I'm sure their parents are worried sick. So by all means, quite frankly, I don't know if the boy was up to it anyway. So
But I seem to remember that he had chased one to a lair, right?
yeah, he did do that. So I guess he's not good for nothing. He did find where one of these things was living.
And you would
Although he
happen to
kind
know
of
where
sat
that
on
is?
that for a few weeks and no
Ah.
progress. So, you tell me where the boy's priorities are. But at least you're going
Chose
to pick up.
life.
you're gonna pick up where he left off, and you need some directions. Is that where this is going? I can certainly kind of point you in the right direction. It's not far from here. A couple hours.
I mean, we're looking for logistical support, right? We need to know that we can use your base of operation to start and get back to, and generally support.
He just kind of looks around. If you call this a base of operations, by all means, you can share a spot here by my fire. Stay as long as you like. Of course, no problem.
I mean,
What condition would you require the basilisk be returned to you in? Can tears be extracted from a dead one, even a small quantity, or it must be alive?
Well, I suppose if it is recently deceased, you could still get something from it. But, lucratively, you get a live one, you figure out a way to kind of keep it in captivity, feed it. I mean, that's these oils of depetrification, like we can make a lot of money.
How much money are we talking about here?
Well, you could probably sell one of these for one little vial of that potion, 500 gold easy.
And you want us to just give you this basilisk?
Well, I mean, honestly, I didn't know anything about this until 10 minutes ago, so
Oh, that's true.
He is a
This is really
shrewd
good stew,
negotiator.
by the way. Is the stew any good?
it's good. It's really good. Yeah.
Yeah, I bet.
look, Tomaris, we leave the business side to you. As long as we know that Hamlet can count on you to supply, this potions or whatever you want to call it when it's needed. We see
No
no problem
problem.
in.
No problem. I mean,
And not at the aforementioned rate, correct?
no. I'll export it, up there in Greyhawk, up there in Verbabank. I can sell this elsewhere. I'm really just down here as a favor. Uh, you guys, you did bless bless my boy's heart. He got himself stuck in that cage. He would have been lit up in a blaze of glory and turned into some kind of elemental crazy thing. And you all came and out of the goodness of your heart, you saved him. And for that, I'm here to deliver these goods. The fire resistance potions, those I gotta sell. I gotta make a profit on those. But when it comes to this oil, if you get me the basilisk, no charge.
Would it be
Any
amicable that you supply each of us with an extra bottle of this petrification oil?
It'll take some time.
Oh yeah. Like
Of course, as much as you need, and as much as I can supply, of course.
I'm just thinking for the effort, some of my compatriots might need some money, and if they could get a vial of this stuff and sell it, then at least they'd have 500 gold, right?
Well, it's true, but you gotta find someone willing to buy it. It just turns out
That's
that you
true.
folk here are in high demand. You got two petrified folk back there in the village. You're worried about further petrifications in your near future. Um, you live a little bit of a rock star lifestyle here in Hamlet, fighting earth cultists and such. Not everybody's got that going on, so.
Uh, do they have to be the adult ones, or can we bring like an egg?
Well, you want to talk about long-term projects, and Egg's going to be super long-term project, probably looking at 4 years long-term.
Oh, all right.
So we better not kill the adult and make sure we bring it back, because that's what they need to make this happen fast. Correct, Tomaris?
Yeah, I mean, going through the whole process of hatching an egg and raising it to maturity, I mean, if that's all you can get me, I'll take it, but it sounds like you got more immediate needs.
Very well.
Well, then, if you don't disagree, we'll continue to share your wonderful meal and fire. And tomorrow morning we'll be on our way with the idea of getting there during the day and try to surprise the beast in its lair during the day when it's sleeping.
Sure, that sounds like a plan to me. Oh, be careful. Get lots of rest tonight. You know, basilisk is not a adversary to take lightly. Let's put it that way. So, anything that anybody wants to do here this evening before daybreak? And I think you had all kind of agreed like daytime was when you wanted to go into the cave.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Torwell would chat a little bit with the elves, see if we can get any rumor, any piece of information that might turn out to be useful. But it's not gonna spend the whole night. But definitely 30 minutes chat before going to bed.
Yeah, there were
Sure.
cultists operating here recently.
There were. The fire cultists, of course, were out there in the woods. They haven't seen anybody recently since then. And actually, it's been kind of quiet since then. Tell you what, Gabe, why don't you roll a d20?
Will do. Ah, look at that beautiful one. I think I'm gonna get a reroll on that one.
A
Why?
1.
One might not be bad.
Really? Okay. Well, I keep the one.
It's just information, right?
Oh, so it's a rumor chart. Okay, got it.
Tomarus gets. I mean, they're drinking this elven wine, and you're staying up late with him around the fire. Everyone else like goes to bed, and he's like, Thorwald, I told you, I know what goes on there in Hamlet. I know what goes on in there in Hamlet. Elmo told me all about it.
About what? About the
What
fact that
goes on there in Hamlet below the tavern? Below the tavern, there's things that are secret below the tavern. Byrne wasn't the first wizard from Hamlet. There were other wizards before him. And there's a tomb to one of them beneath the stumbling ogre. Bet he didn't tell you that, now did he?
no, he didn't. That's actually a great story.
It is, and it's beneath the tavern. Did I say that? Beneath the tavern, and long this wizard like 10 times more powerful than Byrne.
But he's dead, right?
But people die, and that happened to him too. Wizards aren't immune to death. They just live longer, like a lot longer, but then they die. Good night. And
Good
he falls
night.
asleep. Passes out by the fire.
Okay, I'll tell this to the rest of the party tomorrow morning. That's actually a pretty good piece of information.
Right? Yeah, that sounds really fun.
Definitely something we might want to check out.
Yeah.
So, it's what we've been playing for about an hour and a half. Maybe we'll take a 10-minute break right here, bio break and refill drinks and whatnot. So, and then we'll go basilisk hunting. So, thanks everyone for hanging out with us here tonight. See some new faces there in the chat, so that's fun. Yeah, so we'll be back in about 10 minutes or so, and we'll see what happens once we get to the basilisk cave. Hey everybody, welcome back. We are playing Temple of Elemental Evil, and we're on a basilisk hunt right now. So, our adventurers have kind of devised a plan that they're going to head to this cave where they presume at least one basilisk, if not more, could be dwelling for the purposes of trying to capture one alive to uh, get its tears so that they can be used as a reagent for an oil that these elves that they are acquainted with can use it to create an oil of depetrification. They've got not just one but two folks back in Hamlet that would require this service, and so they're sort of doing it partially to bring them back to from stone to flesh, but also as a preventative for should they encounter any other things. I mean, they've basilisks, Medusa. There were cockatrice creatures early on in the campaign, so no shortage of things that might turn you to stone. Um, so you've rested at the elven camp. And have gotten up this morning. You've learned from Spugnor, who you've taken with you, that the creatures are nocturnal. So you're going during the day, hoping to maybe get the jump on them a bit. And so um, you travel. I don't remember what I said. I think originally it was like maybe 2 hours away from the camp. It was where the cave was, and so I don't know. Let's see. Ria, you had like a survival skill in terms of trying to track things and find maybe this precise location where this cave is. You've got pretty good directions, so I'm gonna say you can do a survival check at advantage to see how quickly you can find it.
Alrighty.
And what you would do on your yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Well, you probably don't need advantage because you rolled a 20 right off the bat. So, no problem. In fact, you're able to find this almost directly from the instructions that you got from Tamaris. So, pretty much 2 hours flat, you find it. And so, what you come upon is you're traveling through the dense overgrowth of the woods, um, and kind of cutting your way through until you find a small cave, sort of an outcropping of rock that sort of um, kind of sits in contrast to the rest of the surroundings of the trees in the forest. But there's just like this outcropping of rock and this naturally forming cavern face to it. It sort of looks as you look down there. There's a little bit of sunlight filtering through. You can kind of see it seems like the elevation like it dips down, and so this cavern is going to take you down into some kind of a underground cavern network of sorts. And so, I don't know if you got something of a marching order if you're heading straight down there, or it looks dark. So those of you got plenty of humans here with that don't have dark vision, so you probably need some kind of a light source as you're heading down.
I would like to. Yeah, I'm having trouble getting on as well. The site says it can't be reached right now.
Are other people having Foundry issues right now?
Yeah, I am too.
Okay.
I just have a black screen.
Yeah, I had the black screen, and so I refreshed, and then
Now I have the image of the outcrop.
there we go.
Oh, there
Yeah.
we go.
I got the image.
Note to self: don't refresh.
Never refresh. All right, I have the anvil screen where it's loading.
There really isn't anything to look at right now. I just showed like a little image of a cave
All right.
opening.
Does anybody need a torch or have a torch?
I have torch, so I'm fine.
Does anyone you have clerics have a light spell?
If you do have a light spell, where do you want it?
I mean, I have a flaming sword, but I think that's a bad idea to get a basilisk alive to set it on fire. So I'll not use it. But if you want to put it on the sword or my shield, I'll be in front.
All right, I'll put it on your shield.
All right. And Ria, you were going to have a torch out in a hand.
Yes, yeah, but before we go like into the cave, can I just like look and see if I see any movement, hear anything, just kind of check out the opening?
Sure.
Can I give guidance?
Sure, and you can have guidance. So roll a perception check, and then
Okay.
you can roll a d4 and add that to the roll as well.
All right, let me find perception. There we go.
So you do have 5 rerolls if you'd like one.
Go ahead and use that reroll.
All right, we'll go ahead and reuse it. That's
There
better.
you go.
All right. And then there'd be guidance on top of that, but I'm going to say, with a 20, you can hear that there's definitely like some like a current, like a water current that you hear, some splashing and like kind of rushing water. From your vantage point right here, like as you're just like looking down kind of from the cavern entrance, you don't see any movement or anything, but there is sort of this foul smell of like kind of rot, like rotting carcasses or kind of animal filth kind of smell.
Is there anybody stealthy in the group?
I mean, I don't have this advantage. That doesn't mean I'm stealthy.
Hey, thanks Corey for the DM reroll.
But
Eustace
I'll
is
try.
fairly stealthy and has the invisibility spell that we could put to work. Are we interested in scouting ahead, and then the group can come in a few hours later and find a statue?
Well, I don't think we can be stealthy with a light, right? I mean, we're gonna be giving away by the light.
That's true.
But if we're not stealthy, then we can just run to the sound of its war cry.
Well, let's try and be quiet, but maybe we'll stick together.
Yeah.
Keep your eyes on the floor. Don't use your peepers, use your ears.
All right. So, you have kind of a marching order. I would imagine Thorwald, you might be up in the front.
Yes.
Maybe Dane's up there too.
No, I'll be in the back
Dane's in the back.
in case we get attacked from behind.
All right.
I'm toward the back.
So we'll have Eustace and Magnus in the middle.
In
It's
Spugnor.
Spugnar.
And Spagner.
Oh, yeah.
Sounds good. I'll share this. You all might have to refresh your browser. I've just changed scenes. I don't know if it's flipping.
Let's
Working.
try. I could see my guy. Hey there, guy.
Yeah, so you start to make your way down, and it's sort of it's not a super dramatic angle down, but enough that you kind of have to keep your balance and kind of brace yourself against the walls as you're careening down here. And pretty soon you can see this is like kind of like a ledge here, and that's kind of where you can kind of hear and even see maybe some splashing of water kind of rising up, that there's probably like a stream. You probably can't see it from your vantage point quite yet. The other thing that you notice is kind of scattered around the room, maybe um, off to this side of the chamber, is that there's all sorts of pieces of rock that are kind of in the form of hands and feet and torsos, like petrified.
Like humanoid?
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Ooh. Well, we've found the right place at least. And I think if yeah, Eustace would cast Mage Hand and send the lantern forward 30 feet ahead of us so that we can have a light source out there and not just our own radius.
As you do that, you hear this like kind of screeching from up above, and as you look up, you can see that there's like maybe all sorts of these bird-like creatures with these long, uh, sort of almost needle-like beaks. These are stirges, and they're a little bit perturbed by this light that you've just brought down, and these things detach themselves from the ceiling where they're kind of hiding amongst the rocky formations up above, and they start kind of buzzing about, sort of aggressively, and they start to make some movements towards you all. So they're gonna get um, they're gonna get a surprise round here.
Yeah, so much for being quiet.
All right, so this is a surprise round, but you can all roll initiative to get us started here. So the way to do that, over on the right-hand side where you've got like all of the little options at the top with like the chat box, and then the second one is a little fist. If you click that, you'll see the combat tracker.
Gotcha.
And another little trick that someone figured out at one point is if you right-click the fist, it'll actually pop that out, so you can move around and drag it and put it somewhere, wherever you want to put it.
Awesome. So I need to refresh my browser again because it's not like popping up right for me. So give me a sec.
Sure, no problem.
I can only see the square I am standing on and the one I was standing on next to me.
Okay, you might need to refresh. Okay, so we're gonna begin the combat with the... Oh, hey, Darian Destro, thank you for the subscription. Popped in to see us for the first time and already subscribing. That's awesome. Appreciate that. So the stirges are flying in. This one right here is gonna go for Thorwald. Attack roll is a 10.
Will not hit. Thank the gods.
This one right here comes towards you like a big angry mosquito. 16.
Still misses.
Next one up is over here. That one's flying right towards Magnus. And that one's going to be a critical hit. So this thing, like, its beak kind of drills right into your neck, Magnus. It gets right underneath kind of where the collar of your armor is, and it attaches to you. So you got this thing is, its wings are flapping and its beak has just drilled itself into your flesh and is draining your blood. You take 8 points of damage.
Ouch.
Other one over here comes flying up and is going to try to attach itself to Thorwald. That one's going to be a nat 1. I better use one of my rerolls here so I don't have to roll on the bad things table. And, hey, it's a critical hit. Went from a 1 to a 20. So, same thing happens to you, Thorwald. This thing kind of attaches itself right to your chest. And you will suffer 7 points of damage. This one gets to the other side of you here.
Sorry, can you
22
run
to hit. And
Will
that
hit.
is going to do 7 points. Now you got a second one on you. It attaches itself to your shoulder. This one gets to over here. This one's going for Magnus. And that one's a 23 to hit. 4 points of damage to Magnus. Magnus, you've got a second one on you now. And then the rest of these just fly up, and it's just like a swarm that's kind of buzzing around of these giant creatures. They're just trying to get at the flesh that has walked into the chamber. So that'll bring us around and out of the surprise round. And then we're back to the top. This one right here, which is not attached to Thorwald, is going to try to attack. Ooh, 24 to hit.
Yeah.
6 points of damage. So Thorwald, anyone's counting, Thorwald's got 3 of them attached to him, and Magnus has 2 attached to him. That brings us to Ria's turn.
All right. So I will try to shoot one off of Thorold.
Sounds good.
Let me figure out how to do this.
Yeah, so what you'll do is you'll go to your tab that says equipment,
Gotcha.
and then it's not actually, you want to click not on the word, but the symbol. You hover over the symbol, it turns to that little D20, and then you can click on that.
Gotcha.
And then in the chat, you can hit the attack button then on the longbow.
All right.
You might want to reroll.
Do we want to
'cause,
reroll? Okay.
I'm not sure I'm gonna survive another round with 3 attached to me. I'll be honest
all
with
right.
you.
Let's reroll. Let's do that.
All right. And a 12 won't do it. So you're trying to angle this, and you're trying to be careful because you don't want to accidentally hit Thorwald, and so you maybe compensate a little too much and it just narrowly misses the creature that's on his shoulder. And that brings us to this one, which is attached. And because it's attached, it, I believe, does not have to make an attack roll. Yep. So, you're going to take 7 points of damage from that one. This one over here is attached to Magnus, so that one's going to do the same thing to Magnus. 7 points to Magnus. Oh my gosh. It's a good day for stirges. I've never seen stirges so effective.
Never.
I'm at 27 hit points. It's even even my turn yet, so it's not the same.
We're just gonna
Um,
be dead.
yeah, this one over here is attached to Thorwald. 6 points. And that brings us to Eustace.
All right. Well, that is not really what Eustace had in mind when he was sending his mage hand lantern forward. But he will cast a sleep spell right on Thorwald.
Sounds
Um,
good.
It's a second level, so
I gotta
let's
go
see.
down, Eustace. I have
That's
7.
okay. So in order of lowest hit points and then increasing, they'll fall asleep until 29 hit points worth have been slept. And that might include Thorwald if Sturges don't have very many hit points.
Sure. How many hit points does Thorwald have currently?
7.
Okay, it won't hit Thorwald then. How many does Magnus have?
Oh boy, I have 5.
Okay, you guys are fine. So it will go. I'll just mark them basically. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think you get maybe all of them. Yep.
And Eustace will call out, they will only be slumbering for a moment, but we should dispatch them before they awake.
Let's do that, because I'm not surviving another round of this.
Right.
So sleep spell works, and we don't have to play this out because you'll have enough time to kill them all and
But the auto crits!
discard their carcasses and pull them off of Thorwald and Magnus and whatnot. So nicely done. That was a clutch use of this sleep spell.
Yes, thank you.
I'm just glad I came up before Spugnor because he was totally going to do the same thing and steal the
Steal the EXP,
yeah.
the cred. All right, so you're out of combat. As you're cleaning your weapons off from having slaughtered these stirges.
Yeah, Eustace will produce a healing potion that I think Absalom gave him a long time ago and offer that to Magnus and Thorwald.
Go ahead.
I will also offer my 2 to them.
Well, it sounds like we each get 1 then.
Well, I would think that Thorwald has more hit points, so he'd probably take 2 and then you can take 1.
All right. Yeah, I have 24 max.
I mean, I can use my lay on hands, but you guys think I should
No,
keep
you
it for
should
later?
probably save that. I've got healing
Okay.
spells.
Okay, so 2 potions.
Yeah.
So 2d4 plus 2 each. 2d4 plus 4. I never remember.
2d4 plus 2, I think.
Okay.
Oh, excellent. Good job, Magnus.
Yeah, how about that? Max healing.
No, wrong. Disregard. I threw 3. Here. So
Better.
that is 6 plus 2, 8. And then another one. And
You guys
then
are like
5.
waiting for the action, and Thorwald and I are like, can we take a short rest?
Yeah, basically.
So Cheesemonger is asking why the party is staggered. It's because we've got like 30 some players that play in this campaign, and so We've got some characters that have been around since episode 1. We've got some that started in the middle, and we've got one that just started today. So that's why they're not all the same level.
They catch up quick, though.
Yeah.
Catch up quick.
Nope, we just never give Sarah
so.
any experience points ever.
All right, so you've downed some healing potions and such. You're looking around at the cave. No sign of the basilisk other than these discarded, like petrified limbs that are hanging out here. Kind of looking at the ceiling to make sure that there's no more lingering stirges or whatnot going to fly down, but it looks pretty clear. But up ahead, if you're going to pursue this cavern, you can see there's a landing. You know, when you send your lantern over there with the mage hand, you can see there looks like a tunnel that progresses further, but it's across from this chasm that descends down into this like underground stream. There is like some kind of a rocky pillar that's like right here that could give you the ability to hop over there. But it's about like a 15-foot gap from one side to the next.
Let's get closer to take a look. So I will move to the ledge and get a better sense.
Yeah, I mean, you see basically the same thing. It's 15 foot across. You can see, you know, if you're looking down kind of the passageway, it looks like the flow of the water heads like, say this way.
In my judgment, if I take a head start, can I jump that long?
What's your strength score?
16.
You could.
So I'll tie my rope uh, around myself, and then I'll take as much a preview I can and try to jump long.
All right. I
We
believe the rule is that if you do a long jump, you can jump a length equal to your strength score in feet. So 16 feet, so you'd be able to clear and get across.
Okay, so I'll clear across, and then I will throw the rope back to them, and I'll steady myself to get anybody else on who wants to get that way.
And I will grab the rope on the other side and hold that side.
Eustace will. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say I have 16 strength too, so I could probably just jump it.
Yeah, you'd size this up and look at it and be like, yeah, I think I could make that unaided. And you jump across.
Eustace will cast guidance on Magnus, or can he jump across too? It might be only Eustace that can't jump across.
I can't jump across.
Well, and Spugner.
I look
yeah.
and I realize I'm a little too old for this jump. Oops. That's not my character. That's why I can't move him. You're gonna cast guidance on me? Otherwise, I'm just gonna jump and try to see where I land with this rope.
I would offer that up, and I'm not trying to get you to go first. I just couldn't go first and then cast it on you from there.
Okay. I'll do it. I'll accept that and make this jump. Do I need to roll guidance? I assume I can just do this.
So, help me out here. So, Dane's got a piece of rope. Thorold's on the other side with the rope. So, it's kind of this, like, clothesline kind of thing there. And, Magnus, are you, like, kind of using that as a guide as you try to hop over to the pillar to use it to kind of balance yourself?
I could, and save Eustace a spell slot or whatever the hell warlocks get. And yeah, I think that I could jump at that and just kind of wherever I go, use catch the rope and then just pull myself the rest of the way. I'm strength 14, so I'm talking about barely missing this and using the rope as a extra step for me.
Okay, so give me an acrobatics check at advantage.
I'm gonna do the flip. I'm just kidding. Oops, did not do that at advantage.
It wasn't at advantage, but you can roll again. So okay, 12, and then you had guidance, so you can roll a d4. So 13. So this does not look pretty, but you managed to hop over to the pillar, and you're kind of wobbling, and it looks like he might need to use that. He kind of uses it a little bit, grabs hold of it and leans. And Dane and Thorwald, you're kind of pulled a little bit, but you manage to hold it. And so this is like a leadership class, outdoor rope class thing that you're doing, and everyone's giving Magnus some encouragement as he takes his time and he manages to get over there.
It's a team building effort.
Yeah. So Spugnor is kind of looking at Eustace like, oh, it couldn't get any worse than that, could it?
Here you go,
Oh, it
Spugner. Have some
certainly could.
guidance. I'll cast guidance on Spugner.
Okay. Let's see how it goes.
Come on, Spongy. I got you.
Okay. He does with the guidance pretty decent. He keeps a hand on the rope, but he just kind of hops and then hops, and didn't really need it, but it gave him kind of the confidence to go ahead, and so he gets over to the other side. So we're just left with Eustace and Dane.
Go ahead, Eustace. It's all you.
All right. Guidance up and acrobatics.
Yes.
It at advantage with the rope setup.
Yeah, I'll give you advantage for that.
Definitely using the rope to full stability.
All right, no problem. And even with the guidance in there, you get over there pretty gracefully. Yeah, 23, no problem.
Oh.
Dane, I got you.
All right, you guys go without me. It's fine.
What are you talking about?
No, I'll
Wait.
stay here.
What are you talking about?
You can jump it, right?
Yeah, I got you. Just jump.
No, Dane will back up and he'll jump.
Okay.
I have a
All right.
15 strength.
You have a 15. With a 15, you can make it there. And nobody has to grab you by the beard to pull you up and make sure that you clear that last couple of inches. So that's great. You get over there. So down the tunnel here, as you're kind of peeking down that way, you can see it looks like there's a really narrow tunnel right here, maybe just, yeah, pretty tight, maybe 4 feet wide or so, and then sort of a wider tunnel that heads down that way. Ceilings are getting kind of smaller too. Probably gets to about 6 feet right here. So if we've got anyone that's larger than that, or even if you are just about 6 feet, you're probably gonna start kind of. You can still walk through it. You don't have to army crawl quite here, but watch your melon.
I'll move ahead here, start, lowering myself and gesture to the rest to kind of funnel in whatever order they want to be before I go forward.
How are you feeling, Thorwald?
I think we're gonna find something soon. Can I do a
No,
can I
health
do a
wise,
check here?
are you still pretty beat up?
Oh yeah, but don't worry.
It's my job to worry.
Alex, I peer over to my right to see what I can see in this side passage.
You get 7 hit points, Thorwald.
Oh, thank you.
You see, kind of more of those like fragments of stone that look like hands and feet and torsos and heads, petrified.
You guys are okay if we don't just go by and make sure we don't have anybody can hit sound on the side?
Yeah, I think we
Definitely.
should check down there.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I'll go a couple of feet, be ready in front of behind me, okay? I guess I'll have to squeeze through this.
Yeah, it's pretty tight. You're not wearing like plate armor or anything like that, so it's like not a problem. You can kind of squeeze through there. And yeah, as you look through this passage here is just full of petrified bits, like way more than in the beginning. Like it almost looks like there's probably an assembly of probably at least a dozen different things. Some of them are like they're not all human. Like some of them are kobold or goblinoid. Some are just
And I look
animal.
around. I look around and see if there's like any like fresh signs of an animal that's been there, any tracks or anything.
Sure. Give me a survival check.
All right.
Can I give you guidance for that?
Sure. Yeah, you can take a D4 on top of it.
Hold on a sec. Foundry is being a little annoying for me right now.
Little fussy.
Yeah. I need to reload.
Sure, no problem. While you're doing that, anything that any of the rest of you are doing?
Since I'm inside, I'll just take a look. I don't expect to find anything, but just in case there's, a pouch or a backpack, anything, I'll just
That's true.
quickly take a look.
Take
They might
give me a
probably-
perception check.
You want some help looking in there?
Sure.
So you search about and you do find that there are some belongings here that are not petrified. Among the things that you find are a shield, a climber's kit, 50 feet of rope, and a lantern.
I'll take everything. Especially the 50 feet of rope might be useful.
I think Dane would be listening to see if anything was coming.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Magnus is definitely like looking at the ground a lot, but kind of listening.
So Rhea, you're
I got it.
looking for the tracks and such, and with a 21 plus guidance, you definitely can pick up that there are like two distinct sets of tracks, and they kind of fit with Spugnor's description of the basilisk, in that they seem like they kind of have almost like the 6-footed pattern to them, and so you can find two distinct tracks, like two different
Okay.
similar tracks, but two distinct creatures. And the footprints from inside this chamber seem to pretty much go from this chamber and like back down the tunnel this way, out this way, into the south, or down.
Okay, so I'll get back to my lead position and signal if people are ready to continue exploring.
Yeah.
Are you
Yep,
coming,
ready.
Smugnor?
Yes.
Don't be
Eyes
scared,
on the ground.
Ascalas.
Well, it's just really tight up there, and I don't want to get stuck in the tunnel.
Hey, you're tiny.
I'd like to wait till I see the last person's kind of rear end go around a corner, and then I start to go. Because if this makes me
That's
feel a little uncomfortable, I know I like you guys and everything, but we don't know each other that well.
I would like to point out they could come from behind, though.
That's true. Well, there's a big thing of water here. I feel pretty good about that. I'll take my chances.
Okay, just make sure you always can see us, okay?
Yep. I figure about 10 feet or so. I don't, that's a comfortable distance to maintain the bubble.
Oh, I see something.
So, you've got your light spell there. And yeah, you're kind of looking down there and you can see that there is sort of like this nest looking thing. It's just made of reed and twig and dead leaves and dirt, kind of a mound there. And there are three distinct small creatures, sort of have kind of almost like a lizard-like visage to them, kind of red spines that kind of go down from the top of their head down their back. Um, and they're kind of they're awake. They're kind of rumbling around there in that chamber, and they're kind of calling out, screeching. Especially as the light comes in there, you can see their eyes kind of go squinty, and they start kind of they're making this kind of animalistic screech, calling out.
So
So
guys, get ready.
I think right here we're going to hit initiative and see what happens. So 1 second. End the combat. Go
I'm
ahead
afraid
and
to
roll
look at my
initiative.
computer. I'm just like, don't look. Stare down at the keyboard and the beer.
All right. Looks like we just need one from Magnus.
I rolled it.
What did you have?
17.
All right.
Oh, it's a 16 because it was a -1.
All right. So we're going to start things off here with one of the young creatures that is screeching and cawing out at you. Moves up here. And Magnus, you're right there. And so this thing is moving 5, 10, 15. It gets to right there.
I don't know what their abilities are, but I've been staring into the dirt this entire trip.
All right. If you do so, so that is something that you can all elect to do when you are, if you tell me that now, you can do that. But basically, if you're doing this, you're effectively blinded for the turn. So you'd be at disadvantage. All the conditions and things that go along with being blind impact you if you're intentionally doing everything that you can to avert your gaze.
What if I'm just trying to break its ankles?
So I guess I'll ask Dane, is this something you're doing?
Yeah, Dade's probably not going to be looking. I don't think I'm going to do much attacking of the animals. I am going to cast Bless on Thorwald, Eustace, and myself.
Sounds good. Anything else?
I will cast Shield of Faith. Oh no, I can't cast 2 spells. No, I think that's it because I can't see anything to hit. So.
All right, Magnus, it is your turn.
So I'm kind of stepping forward until I see their feet, being very antisocial. And I'm going to swing with my super cool cudgel.
All right, attack roll at disadvantage.
All right. Sorry, I just rolled twice. I didn't set it up right. Again, before you tell me, I would like to. Is it once? It is once.
You have
Nope,
bless,
that's it.
right? You have bless, right?
No,
I do
you
not.
have Bless. You, Eustace, and me have Bless.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
All right, so that's it for me.
Okay,
Oh
14
no.
will hit.
Oh. I forgot about the club. So man, I had totally just determined that was not going to hit.
The club's a D6.
It's a D6.
Oh. Why is it? That should be a 5. It's 5 damage or whatever.
5 damage. All right.
I need to fix it. I need to just turn it into a +2 mace because that would be better.
Sounds good. That'll bring us up to Spugnor, who's at the kind of the rear right now. He really can't get up there. He can't see any of them, so that's his turn. Eustace, it's your turn.
All right. Similarly, can't see anything up there. So he'll actually run down this tunnel off to our left and see if what the commotion is all about. So 15 feet there, and I think I'm seeing our own ally. So he'll risk it, and he's still averting his eyes, but will move up right next to Rhea.
All
And
right.
I guess ready an Eldritch Blast. Wow, what trigger could you even do when you're keeping your eyes
Be
shut,
careful. Be careful
right?
what you say.
Yeah, something makes a noise and then Thorwald goes charging past. All right, take a dodge action and see how it goes.
Yeah, sounds good. Okay, that brings us to Rhea.
All right. Oh, let's see how this goes. I am going to risk trying to look at one of the basilisks and not in the eyes. Let's see if we can look at its legs and see if we can shoot off an arrow and maybe incapacitate it a little bit.
All right. Up until this point, so you didn't start your turn seeing it, so right now, from where you're standing right now, you can't see it. If you move to like
Okay,
right
I'll move up.
here, you'd be able to see it.
Yeah, I'll move up here.
And from there you can see
All right.
two. You can see at least two. You think you can probably hear a third one down there, though, as well.
So this first one that's closest to me, I'm going to try to look at its legs and shoot off something, try and incapacitate it a little bit.
Sounds good.
All right, so let me remember if I can do this. Whoops, that's not what I want. Okay, there we go. Oh, did it not bring it up? Okay. There we go.
All right. Sorry. And there's something I forgot. This one, he moved up 15 feet and he used the dodge action. So roll it one more time to account for
Okay.
disadvantage.
Roll for disadvantage.
You can just roll it like normal one more time and we'll just... Okay. So the 23 hits. Unfortunately, because it's disadvantage, you don't get that crit there, but it'll hit, so you can roll damage then.
All right. Is that just the same? Yeah. Like that?
Actually, the other button underneath attack, the damage button.
Oh, sorry.
So 8 points of damage. And so I think right here is probably going to be a good time for me to kind of go over a couple of things as it relates to non-lethal damage. So only melee weapons will be able... So non-lethal really only matters if it's like the thing that you use to bring it to 0. So melee attacks you can declare before you hit that it's non-lethal, and then you'll do non-lethal damage. I'm gonna rule that any smites or any magical things that you use to like enhance that attack will like disqualify it from being non-lethal. It has to be like a mundane kind of whacking it with a blunt side of a weapon or a club or whatever. Same thing with ranged. You can't declare ranged as non-lethal, but in this case, you know, that was probably a safe shot because you looked at this thing and said, it's plenty healthy. Like I can incapacitate it a little bit to like help someone else out and do non-lethal. So I just want to kind of throw that out there, and also like spells. Like if you throw like Spugnoir comes out here and starts casting like firebolts and stuff, like you can't non-lethal someone with like a spell that's intended to do that kind of harm to someone else. So I just wanted to like lay out those ground rules for how those mechanics will work. But anything else from Maria?
So question on this term, since I moved and attacked, can I move back or no?
If you in 5th edition, you can split up your movement like that. So if you've still got movement left, you can use it at the end.
I'm gonna move back behind this wall again.
Very cool. Get back in kind of ducking kind of position.
Yep.
Thorwald.
Okay, so 5. I don't know if I can go directly here, but if in case I can't, I'll move through Magnus's spot if he allows me.
You can get there. It's pretty tight in here, tight quarters, but you can reasonably fight right here.
Okay, and the way I'm gonna fight is I'm gonna test the contraption that I mounted on my shield. So I'll basically be using the shield to see where I'm attacking and attacking with the flat of my sword.
Okay, so you got like a mirror on the inside of your shield that you're using
Correct.
to try to... Okay.
Yeah. I don't know if it's gonna work, but that's what it's gonna try.
So it will work. Give me a Constitution saving throw.
It will not work. Okay, got it.
It will work for me. Okay.
All right.
You catch its gaze and you can see it trying to like it's got these little, it's like the little rings in the eyes like the snake from Robin Hood. It's just like trying to petrify you, but you manage to shake it off and you can go ahead and have a regular swing at this thing.
I will bonus action rage first. Let me put it on. Effects rage. Boom. Use ability. And then smack it with the flat of the sword. $15 plus. I haven't added the let me add it.
The blast.
That
The blast.
yeah, that'll hit.
Oh, okay. And so the damage normal. It will be 11 because it doesn't count the radiant.
All right, that one goes down.
Okay.
So we got one that's unconscious now.
Yes. Unconscious and alive should be. But this is all my turn because I did the move. I did the bonus action, did the attack. I will just move back once to just give Magnus some more wiggle room here. But with that being done, end of my turn.
All right. So these other younglings here, they're about like maybe like 2 feet in length, 2.5 feet. So these are definitely not fully grown basilisks, but this one will move up 5, 10, 15. Gets up here, and it's gonna try to take a bite at Magnus. It gets advantage. It's gonna get a 22 to hit,
Oh boy.
dealing 7 points of damage.
Okay,
It,
and I'm back to being bloodied.
the other one's gonna race up here. It has to dash to do so. All right, that brings us to the top of the order. It is Dane's turn.
I'll move down here. And I am going to cast Shield of Faith on Magnus.
Concentration, right?
Oh, shit, you're
Yes.
right. Can I not do that?
Sure.
Okay. Then I won't do that. I will cast Healing Word on Magnus instead.
Oh, thank you.
So you get 7 hit points. I think Toll of the Dead, I have to look at them, right? Yeah, I have to be able to. Do I have to look at them? Or do you know?
Does it say a creature that you can see?
That you can see within range.
I'm gonna say yeah. You would have to
Do I
risk it.
fail? Or I have to risk. I'd have to roll a concentration check. Is that what you're telling me?
I don't know. Are you gonna look at it?
Yeah, I'm going to cast Toll of the Dead on it.
All right. Give me a Constitution saving throw.
Let's look at it in the crotch.
All right, no problem.
And I will guess this one. I'll toll. Which one's unconscious?
I deleted it off of there, so its
Oh, okay.
body is like laying nearby.
These two are both fresh.
Yep.
Neither have been damaged.
Neither has been damaged.
Sorry, you get a
Little
Wisdom
savey,
save.
wisdom save, hey? Okay. Yeah. So 3 points.
3 points. Yep.
All right. Sounds good. That brings us to Magnus.
All right. I am going to. I really would just like to stare it in the ankles, but I understand that that doesn't really help me. But I'm going to swing at the guy. This guy here.
All right.
On battle.
Attack roll at disadvantage. That'll hit.
Yeah. And 10 damage.
10
damage.
points. Wow.
Is it
And
lethal? Is it lethal or no?
it's lethal. I thought we only need an adult one. And then I'm going to I hate to do this, but I am going to healing word myself. Well, actually, yep.
Actually,
Healing my word. No, healing wording. I'm gonna put it on myself. Sorry, can't make a sentence with healing word.
all right. Sounds good. That'll bring us to Spugnoir, who is still trying to maintain personal space boundaries between him and Eustace. He's gonna hang tight there. Eustace, it is your turn.
All right. Eustace will run up, averting his gaze. Get right behind. Let's see. That's 10 feet to there. Is this somebody right behind me to my left?
Right here, that's Dane, I believe.
Okay. And curiously, Eldritch Blast is one of the few that you don't have to be able to see. So we'll cast at disadvantage into the sound of screeching ahead down
Sounds good.
toward this one. So disadvantage. Nice. A 20 and a 1. I've never fumbled before. Would you guys mind if I reroll?
Yeah, you can reroll.
All right, reroll deployed. All right, that'll hit.
All right, for 7 force damage and
Was it
his
this
turn
one?
there. I don't know. Do I?
Oh, you could see which one was hurt.
Well, I was trying not to
Can't
look at them
see.
though.
Oh,
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
I
Yes.
think Alex, would you mind randomly determining which one I hit and which it's stacked up? I can't do non-lethal, sorry.
I think this one makes some more sense. That if you were listening for the closest one, that's probably the one you heard. So I'll say that that's the one you go
Works for
for.
me.
Yes, but from behind,
Lovely.
Mama's home. Mama sees Dane. Is gonna try to hit you with a bite. 7? No. I will reroll. And not any better. So, basilisk comes out You kind of hear it coming. You manage to kind of sidestep as it goes. Its bite kind of lunges around the corner and just takes a chunk out of the wall. Seems to be okay with that as it gnaws a little bit on the gravel in its mouth and swallows that down. Thanks, Pruno, for the DM reroll. There might be some bloodthirsty folk in the in the chat right now. They're wanting to see somebody get petrified. I'm not sure, but that's gonna bring us to Rhea.
All right. Okay. So we have Mama Basilisk by Dane, and then what happened with the other two? We have one dead, right?
One that has been subdued and knocked out, and then two of the younglings still up.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna come over here. And I am going to try. Oh, can I shoot past like Dane and Eustace? Or is it too crowded in here?
You can. There's probably a little bit of cover that is happening. Um, and you're kind of contending with the basilisks that are kind of on your heels, so you'd be at disadvantage shooting at range there, but you could do it.
I'm gonna try to boink one of these little basilisks on the head with non-lethal. With short sword.
All right. And averting your gaze, right?
Trying to, yep.
Yep. Okay, so you can make the attack roll at disadvantage. And just for transparency here, I got a reroll from Corey and a reroll from Isaac, so that's happening. Okay, 13 hits.
All right, so roll damage.
So you can roll damage.
All right.
7. Was that this one here?
Yeah, and it was non-lethal.
All right. That one is still up. All right, that brings us to Thorwald.
Thorwald is gonna hit the one in front of him. He's not averting his gaze because he's raging, and honestly, I don't feel like he's gonna be that refined. So, fortunately,
All right. Give me. You're going after the young ones.
yeah.
Okay.
I think I have to finish those ones first.
All right. Give me 2 Constitution saving throws.
I'm only looking at one though.
You can give me 2 Constitution saving throws.
Okay.
Okay. 1 is a success.
I'm gonna roll that one.
All right. See, chat. If you hadn't given these rerolls, you would have gotten what you wanted.
How many rerolls do we have left? Like player rerolls?
There's one left. So you're good. You're good on the second one. Pruno, thanks for the DM reroll. You can't take away rerolls that you gave the players. Like, these DM rerolls really don't do much. So, and this is the attack roll. Okay, so
It's a 7, but I do add a D4. Probably is not gonna make the difference, but I'll roll it just in case.
you want to reroll?
No, I'm not gonna use the last
You
reroll.
sure?
I'm very sure.
That one will miss.
Okay, and after that, yeah. I'm done.
All right, that brings us to the 2 young basilisks. This one here is going to attack Rhea. And it will hit, dealing 5 points of damage. This other one is attacking Thorwald. And 19 to hit.
Will hit.
That is 5 points of damage.
Two.
And somebody loves you all in the chat. Jenna has redeemed by everyone a reroll, so you're up to 6 rerolls.
Thank
6
you,
points.
Thank you, Jenna. We're gonna need it.
Thank you.
There's always an angel amidst all the devils. All right, so that's it for the young basilisks. Now we've got Mama Basilisk, but what about Papa Basilisk? He comes around the corner and is going to make a bite attack at Dane.
A much juicier target. That guy's in a tin can.
I might as well re-roll here because I've got all these re-rolls from the chat. And there's a critical hit. 28 points of damage.
Holy shit.
Shoes.
Are you alive, Dean?
Yeah,
It's Dane's turn.
that hurt a lot, but I'm alive. First, I'll make a concentration saving throw. And that will fail.
But you get to add bless to it.
Do I
It's
get
true.
that plus to?
Bless's saving
It's
It's a
throws.
save, right?
Oh, okay. So that would be 14 minimum. So that will pass. Well, this is not good. I am going to cast heal on myself because that really hurt.
All right.
And then I will toll of the dead this one.
All right. Wisdom save. Fails.
That wasn't a saving throw. Oh, wait. Why is he rolling a wisdom save?
Isn't Toll the Dead wisdom save?
Oh, right. You're right. Okay. And he's been hurt, right?
And he's been hurt. Yep.
Yeah.
So 8 points of damage.
He is dead.
Okay, so I don't have to make a save from his gaze.
You'll just need to make one from the other. And that's a Constitution saving throw. So, you're good.
14.
All right. Anything else, Dane?
Nope, that's it.
Magnus.
I am still gonna keep my peepers shut and or down on the ground. And I'm gonna swing on this guy again. With my super cool cudgel. Oh, I meant to do that. And oh, that's so sad.
Critical hit.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, but oh yeah, you got your you got your eyes averted.
Yeah.
So it's still a hit. It's still good. And
Max
10
damage.
right.
And
Is still up.
I am going to use my War Priest ability to use my bonus action to swing again. Also a disadvantage. And I'm
Not gonna
gonna
quite get there. All right.
That's it for me.
Spugnor is up. He's gonna get in the range here. And he will cast a sleep spell. And so this one falls asleep. And then that'll bring us to Eustace.
All right. Eustace just heard Dane get the crap bit out of him right behind. So he will still gaze averted, whirl around to face the Mama and Papa Basilisk and gather shadows around him and use Fey Presence to attempt to frighten, unfortunately, all creatures within a 10-foot cube originating from me. So, Dane, I think you're going to be able to save a lot easier than them, but I'm going to try to frighten all three of you. Just the 10-foot cube with basilisks and Dane in it.
You could shape the cube so that it doesn't get Dane. Because
But
you
if
could.
I want to frighten Dane,
It's
no,
fine.
I'm just
yeah,
kidding.
yeah, you
No,
totally could.
if I can steer around it, I will.
I saved anyways. It's fine.
So, what's the saving throw number?
Oh, 13.
13?
Yep.
All right.
And it's not very long. It's just the end of my next turn, but that was pretty brutal when they showed up. Oof.
First one makes it. Second one. 10. I'll use a reroll. I don't know. Toxic masculinity. This Papa Basilisk, he's not gonna be able to stay there. Mama's gonna have to do the fighting here. So he's looking spooked, and he's about to like hightail it for at least the round. All right.
Well, I think Eustace will try to move away from it, seeing the bite damage that they do, and end his turn right up north of Thorwald.
All right. Mama Basilisk is up and gonna try to finish the job here with Dane. Dane, you were not averting your eyes this round, right?
I was looking at the other way.
Because he cast Toll of the Dead on the
Okay.
boy.
So let me put it this way. If you are intentionally averting your eyes from this one, it's going to get advantage on its attack roll.
But if I don't, then I have to make a saving throw.
At the start of your turn, yes.
Yeah, okay. I won't avert my gaze.
Okay.
That'll
22
hit.
to hit.
Doesn't really matter, unfortunately.
15 points. We still up?
Yeah, I'm still up.
All right, Rhea, it is your turn.
Right. I am going to not avert my gaze and try to get a shot off on Mama Basilisk.
All right. We will say, because of the Eustace's fear thing on this other basilisk, we'll say that one is already kind of hightailing it. So you only have to make one Constitution saving throw here.
Okay. Okay.
All right, 21 will make it.
All right. Okay, so get my longbow out. How many rerolls do we have?
You got 6.
Okay, I'll use a reroll if everyone's alright with it.
Yep.
That one will not quite make it.
Do you have 3? I don't remember. Dane, who do you cast it on? Me, you, and
Eustace.
All right, so that one just kind of, it's a tricky shot from these tight passageways. That will bring us to Thorwald.
okay. Thorwald would move next to Dane. And bonus action, he will set his weapon on fire and then attack the one in front of him. So I think he has to do a save first. Myself.
Yeah, 1 Constitution saving throw.
Yep. Coming. So let me add a d4 to that, see if it makes any difference. So the saving throw is a 13.
There rerolls.
Holding at 13?
Yep.
That will save.
And then attacking the one in front of me.
That will hit.
And then I put the sword in fire, so this is lethal. So it's a total of 14 hit points.
14. All right. As he's kind of starting to scurry away, you manage to lick him with the back end, on the back end with the flame tongue sword. The young
That's it.
basilisk is sleeping. This one starts to move away and moves 5.
Do I get an attack?
Yep. That'll hit.
18 hit points.
Dane, did you want to make an attack of opportunity?
Unfortunately, I've been casting spells, and I'm not a warcaster, so I do not have a weapon
Don't
in
have a
hand.
weapon out. Okay.
I guess I could
Perfect.
punch it, right?
No, you actually you couldn't, because
You can't do an unarmed strike.
yeah, it's not considered a weapon.
Okay.
That brings us to the top. Dane, it is your turn.
I am. Oh, I gotta make a save, right? Let's do that first.
Yeah, Constitution saving throw at the top.
Remember the bless.
Oh, yeah. I'll use a reroll.
All right.
Oh, that's no better.
Where you stand, you can feel your feet kind of root in place. The petrification is starting to take shape. You're restrained, but you still have your action and everything.
I am going to reach out and touch Mama Basilisk and cast Inflict Wounds.
All right.
Oh,
17.
That will hit.
11 damage.
11 damage. All right. That will bring us to Magnus.
All right.
Can I use my bonus action to cast War Priest before you move to Magnus?
Sure.
Oh wait, no, I don't think I can do that.
Yeah, it's after you use it.
Yeah, I got to use a weapon attack.
Okay.
Never mind.
I'm going to sneak in here and try to get like here. Oh. And I'm gonna shit. I'm gonna keep on looking down. And when do I determine when I'm gonna use the charges?
When you hit.
After I hit?
Yep.
So you're using
Alright.
the holy weapon of Saint Cuthbert.
Yep. And as I kind of swing, I am kind of like increasing the light in my excitement.
The radiance is growing.
Yep. Sorry.
Nice.
All right, but you're
I'm gonna do my special channel divinity to add 10 to that 8.
okay. That'll hit.
All right. Let me check that off. And then I'm going to add 3 to it. And so that is I'm only gonna do 2. I don't want to waste all my charges, but so it'll be my damages plus 2d6.
So total 3d6s plus 4, right? Because we did 2, right?
Sorry, what?
Each charge that you throw in just gives it a d6, right?
Yeah. So that plus
Wow.
18
the
total.
18 damage. Yeah.
All right.
And then I will use my war priest and swing again. Oh, I always forget to set it at advantage or disadvantage. I mean, I'm just swinging
That'll
2
hit.
good rolls. For another 9 damage.
All right.
Solid turn.
And that's it for me.
That'll
All of
bring
my peepers closed.
us to Spugnor, who's gonna cast another sleep spell. And that will be Eustace, you cast this at second level. Does that give you 2 additional d8s?
Yeah.
So 7d8. $32. This one falls asleep.
All right.
All right. That brings us to Eustace.
Bugnor the basilisk tamer. Eustace will definitely not be able to see that just happened. So moves up into Thorwald's space, since we're all blind anyway, to see what he can see to attack. It's only the sleeping one. Yikes. Well, all right. I'll just move back out and take a help. Oh, well, I guess, sorry, while I was up with Thorwald, I'll take a help action for Thorwald at the restraining of the basilisk. Try to assist him with that with an attempt.
Okay, so if Thorwald tries to restrain this thing, you give him help.
Right, you've got the manacles.
No, I don't think manacles is gonna work. Oh, I mean,
No?
manacles, yeah. But I got ropes.
Oh,
So,
okay. Then yeah, we'll assist with that.
All right. So Mama Basilisk is sleeping. Then it brings us to Rhea.
All right, so we've got Mama sleeping and this young one up here sleeping too, right?
Yep.
two. I think there are two sleeping, right, of the young
Yeah.
ones.
We want to try to
One
restrain.
is unconscious. One's knocked unconscious.
Yeah,
He's
there's
not
only
unconscious, he's sleeping.
Because I knocked one unconscious, and then the sleep spell put another one down. So one is dead of the three young ones, but I think two are sleeping.
Yes.
Makes
so
sense,
We
Alex?
wanna-
so one of the young ones is sleeping. One of them got knocked out. One of them died.
Yes.
Mama Basilisk is sleeping.
Yes.
Papa's Basilisk is wetting himself somewhere in the other room because Eustace
Yeah.
freaked him out.
Oh no, so that just ended at the end of Eustace's turn.
Yeah. So
Papa's coming back. Yeah.
Papa will be coming back, but yeah.
Do we want to try, like, are we taking this young one that's sleeping? Are we going to try to restrain it and take it with us
Yes.
too?
Yeah.
Okay, so I've got some rope on me, so I will try to restrain this young one up here by me.
Okay. Easily done. Yeah, no problem. You spend your turn doing that and tying that off.
And by restraining, do you mean that you're putting a blindfold over its face? And
Yeah, I'll tie up all of its nice little legs and put a blind over its face.
Okay. The whole process will probably take a couple of rounds probably, but you can start with, just the basics of trying to get it tied up so it can't scurry around and attack and such.
I'll start with this one then.
But sleep spell lasts for a minute yet, so you've got, as long as you're starting the process right now, it should be no problem. Thorwald, it is your turn.
Yeah, I know that Eustace wanted me to restrain Mama, but Towa wants to get done. So he's just going to charge ahead and try to finish Papa. 10, 15, 20. Do I see Papa?
You do see Papa. Constitution saving throw. No problem.
So let me calculate if I can get to him. It doesn't look like I can. So, because I was here. So go through Magnus is double or just 5? 5 or 10
Double.
feet to go through. Double. Okay, so 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So I'll get to here and then ready the action to smack him as it comes towards me.
All right. And come towards you he shall.
Makes sense. That's what I would do too.
That will hit.
And it takes 13 points of flaming damage.
Right. He is still up, so he will make his attack roll. Ooh, I better use my re-rolls. There's one here. 14.
Misses.
That brings us to the top. Dane, your feet are heavy. What would you
Constitution
like to
saving
do?
throw?
Not yet. At the end of your turn, you will do it again.
All right. I am.
Thanks, Corey, for the re-roll. So you can't move because you're restrained.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sorry.
Then I don't really have much of an option. I am going to try and do non-lethal damage to Mama.
Mama
Okay.
is already asleep.
Well, I still want to knock it out because I don't want it waking up. And
Doing damage to it will wake it up.
all right, maybe I won't do that. I will pull out my rope and start tying it up.
Okay. So you start to restrain it. No problem. You kind of have to maybe pull it a little bit closer and start tying it up and everything. Then at the end of your turn, Constitution saving throw. Look at all these DM rerolls. Thanks, guys.
19.
All right. You feel you kind of just like kind of focus in a little bit, and slowly that petrification seems to kind of start to recede and reverse, like you just will it so, um, and your feet turn fleshy again. So that process is over. You don't have to keep doing that unless for gaze purposes. Um, that brings us to Magnus.
So is Mama all tied up?
Starting
I'm
to
working
starting
on
to
it.
be working on it. Yep.
All right,
You
I'm going
start working on
to
the other one.
close my eyes and just kind of run over here, hopefully,
Sure.
without hurting myself. And I'm going to kind of find Thorwall with my shield and then swing next to him,
All
hopefully
right.
hitting Papa.
Attack roll at disadvantage. That will hit.
All right.
And
For
how would you
9
like to
damage.
finish it?
Well, we've got more than what we need. So I would like to just mace him kind of through the eye socket, kind of out the top of the skull here. Just really bloody destruction.
Is there any kind of mace related pun that goes along with this kill shot of yours?
I replace your face with a mace.
All right, there it is. So Magnus the Cuthbertine lets you hear it and tries to trademark a new catchphrase and wallops this thing in the face. Um, and it is adequately messy, but that's okay because you do kind of finish the job here and tie up, and I think there's maybe some burlap bags or something you brought along to kind of put over their heads to kind of help with the averting of the gaze and such. So you got two young ones and this fully grown one.
Female, if it makes any difference. Don't know if male or female makes more tears, but
I guess some other things of note as we're wrapping the session up is there is a petrified figure in the room where the adult basilisks were living, and it is clearly a earth cultist, just given its like robe and everything. It has like little triangles and such in it. It looked like it had like a mirror in hand. It was like probably trying to do some of the same goofy things that you did. It's still like one kind of fully formed like statue here. And you'll probably notice if you look at some of the now having seen this fully formed like statue-esque figure, if you go and you look at these other humanoids around that just are arms and legs and whatever, you'll find indications of like triangles on them as well. And so it looks like the Earth cult at one point did probably try to go in here and wrangle some basilisks to have as pets, but it didn't go so well for them.
We should definitely bring this statue back and use it to decorate the inn or as a warning to cultists outside Hamlet. Like, this is what happens to cultists around here.
It's a great idea, Eustace.
Could have a welcome sign.
Sure. But we're already carrying 3 basilisks out of here, so I don't know if we have room for another cultist.
I will carry myself on my shoulders because the idea is so cool. I want to see that statue park outside with stumbling ogre for sure.
I'll help you carry it. Let's get it home.
You got the wagon outside, so you got more than enough room for all of this. So you could take that back with you. Now, you're coming back, I guess, with more than maybe you thought you were coming back with. You've got not just one fully grown basilisk, but you got these 2 younger ones. I'm curious what your plans are with all of this that you're taking back with you.
I would say we leave the adult ones with Tomerus, and then we bring the 2 back to town so that our wizards can do their wizardy thing with it. No.
I don't think they deserve all 3 of them.
That's what I'm saying. We only leave in the adult, and we bring in the 2 children back to Hamlet with us for our village purposes.
For Spugnor. He
Mhm.
knows a
Spugnor
lot
and Burn.
about them.
Well, or for Burn, because we're going to be able to get the tears for Burn to get him loose. And
Spugnor's already got a griffin. Like, let's just give him a bunch of pets.
Sure.
Are we worried about him getting petrified while feeding his pet basilisks?
Yeah.
That's true.
I can't imagine that'll happen.
But don't worry, we already have the agreement with the elves, so no matter what, they'll keep feeding us the oil, so we're good.
Yep, it happened again.
Exactly.
So Spugnor like definitely is excited that you all are like wanting to bring these 2 young ones back because he sees a lot of potential. Like he's like, oh, it's really good. Maybe they'll grow and we could produce this stuff ourselves, and like he can research this and see if there might be other uses for things that basilisks produce for other potions and whatever. And as you're starting to like talk about Burn a bit and like Burn becoming depetrified, I don't know. Is anybody proficient in insight?
I know.
Okay, go ahead and make an insight check.
Don't really need to. I know what he's going to say. Oh, I rolled low. Good.
There's sort of like a change in Spugnor a little bit. Like he just gets a little quiet.
Come on
quiet
now,
maybe.
Burn can teach you, and the rest of the group, we will let Burn know how instrumental you were while he was petrified.
Okay.
Funny, no matter what happens,
good.
I wanted to know that you're my favorite wizard, okay?
Oh, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's really kind of you guys to say.
Screw that Burn guy.
We're meaning it.
Oh, don't say screw Burn. Maybe it's just best we don't talk too much about Burn.
Why? What happened?
Oh, nothing. This is really good that you guys brought these basilisks back. I'm really looking. I'm going to focus more of my attention maybe on the basilisk thing and the griffin thing, and Burn. It's good that he's going to be back, and I'll let you guys kind of take care of Burn. I was a little starstruck. I know when I came here, I wanted to meet him and learn all from him, and maybe I just set the bar a little high for myself. I'm more of like a caretaker of these magical beasts and stuff. I maybe gonna give
Wow.
up the wizarding thing.
Don't sell yourself short. You've done an awesome job without burn.
You've
Oh,
been
thank you.
conducting all of our arcane research regarding the temple ever since he was petrified. We wouldn't know where to dump our findings.
The first time I met you, Tony, you were looking for a master wizard, right? To
That's
learn.
right. That's why
Guess what?
came here.
The history of your life has brought you to be the master of yourself. You should be grateful for that, because that's the only lesson in life you learn.
Well, that's really kind of you to say, and I think I've kind of come into my own, and I'm happy with this. So, yeah.
And those were some clutch sleep spells. Like, I was almost dead.
You
So
say today.
he's very appreciative of the words, but it is weird because he was like idolizing Burn when he first got here, and now the reality of Burn becoming depetrified is happening, and he seems like he kind of like wants nothing to do with them, and so whatever that is, like you're
It's
just not
good that he's
too sure.
moving on.
Yeah, could be. So, the elves are gonna start working on kind of extracting the tears, and the distillation process of like making this oil and everything takes a little bit of time, but I guess their question is going to be, who is the first priority to dispense one of these on? Would it be the child or
For
would
sure,
it be
the
Burn?
girl. The
The
girl.
child, I would think.
Okay. So they say, yeah, in about 2 weeks or so, they think they'll have one ready.
How about we send Furnock to get the first vial, so you get a chance to, you know.
Yeah, Tavares is like, yeah, if you could find him and pull him out of whatever drinking hole he's in, yeah, send him back. I'll happy to see him. I'll show
We'll
him
do
how
our
to make
best.
potions since he was like a terrible basilisk hunter. And he's just like throwing shade at his son, and you know. So,
Before we leave this cave, can we search to see if there's anything worth taking?
I was thinking that too.
yeah. Do you just want to search like these caves that you've been in?
Is there more to it?
Give me a perception check.
17.
We will say that on your way out, as you're crossing over the stream, the little gully or the little valley with the water stream, you catch eye of like another cavern down below, what looks like a little tunnel, and we'll say, sure, you were kind of interested in that, and you managed to rappel down there and take a look. And what you find is what seems to be some kind of like an old cache, maybe like some smugglers or something had this little hidey hole down here in this cave. It looks old, but you find this kind of waterlogged old chest. Like the wood is all kind of warped and swelled, and it's taken a lot of moisture over the years. But you managed with a crowbar or something, you managed to like pop that open, and there are some valuables that you managed to dig out. Um, there would seem to be in the chest in total 1,200 silver pieces and 70 gold pieces. Um, you also find a scroll in there with some old ancient military orders. And you get the sense from the context of it is sort of like lost to time, but it looks like this was probably um, like a payment of such that was supposed to go to um, the righteous host during the Battle of Emerity Meadows. It was probably like a payment. So maybe your first impression of this being like a smuggler's cave is probably correct, but maybe this was like a payment that was supposed to go to the righteous host that got stolen or lost on its way to the front lines of the battle to pay the troops or pay the warriors or whatever. But those people are long dead, or long gone, and so this is a fine prize to find. So we can get that split up between all of you as we go offline here.
It's 38 gold each.
Yeah, I'll divvy it up here at the end once we go offline. So, yeah. So thanks everyone for a fun session. Congratulations on accomplishing this task that has been kind of on the bucket list or the to-do list for a number of sessions now. So we've got the path forward to finally seeing Burn come back and seeing the child come back. And if anyone else decides to get petrified along the way, well, we've got an answer for it. So. Thanks everyone who's been sitting here watching with us here tonight, Friday night D&D. If you ever want to get into a game, just probably the best way to do that would be to join the Discord and check out the game signups to see when the next one is. I'm going to do one probably this coming week. I just hadn't figured out if it was going to be a Friday night game or a Saturday morning. And so I'll be posting that over the weekend. So keep an eye on that. That's all I've got. So let's see if we've got somebody we can toss a raid over to. Let's do a raid over to Six Sides of Gaming. I don't really know them that well, but I like their name, so we're going to raid them and say hi. So thanks, everybody. We'll see y'all soon.
Thanks. Good
Thank
game,
you,
everyone.
Alex.
Bye bye.
Thanks.
Bye.